guys, back up at the workshop again today. It's a Saturday, not very warm outside, not very sunny either, so I've got the door closed. Just try and get the temperature up in here a little bit, which is usually impossible because it's an open roof, sort of. I've got two blowers going and a heater. Anyway, what I wanted to try to do today is a few things. Let me turn the camera around first. So firstly, now that I've cleaned up all this aluminium piping, apparently it's not a good idea to use a wire brush or something to clean up the piping, because basically you end up making the surface a bit rougher and then more susceptible to dirt and corrosion. So I've got something, wait a minute, let me grab it. It's called Elsterglans, which none of you would have heard of, I'm sure, which is it's actually a universal polish, but somebody recommended it to me yesterday, so I scouted about and found some of that today. The next thing I want to do is, so I'm going to try that on these pipes and those pipes over there. And I've got a whole bunch more somewhere as well. These are the rubber bungs, which new are quite expensive, and there are 12 of them on the car, but only 6 of them are removable. They go on the rear subframe. So you can see them here. The top ones are the non-removable ones. They seem to be stuck to the castings, and these ones go sort of underneath each of these stuck ones. So I'm going to give those a clean up. You can see they're sort of slightly rusted on the top. I already cleaned them up yesterday, if this would focus. But not very well, so I also put some rust converter on there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a bit more time on them, clean them up, because I think they're either 6 or 12 euros each, maybe 12 euros for a set, or 6. They're quite expensive, so buying a whole bunch of new ones when the rubber isn't perished, it's fine, or so I think anyway. It's not, they're just a bit dirty, but they're not perished. So I'm going to clean those up and reuse them. The other thing I'm going to do is this wheel carrier, front right-hand side wheel carrier. You may remember these bolts all broke off when I was extracting them. And the retapping, the drilling out and retapping of those bolts didn't go brilliantly, to be honest. All 4 hold a bolt, but in one of them, you can see just there, right below, it looks like there's a shadow of the bolt going down. And basically when I drilled in, I drilled off center, and it when I was tapping the hole, it pushed ever so slightly. It's not much, like 0.5 millimeter, maybe less, the housing into the into this in or out, whatever you want to say. So what I'm going to try and do, I've got some metalworking tools with me. I'm going to tap that back and think about pushing in the bearing and then retapping that hole. So to find one of these, you can buy them new and they cost about 700 euros, so that isn't an option. But to buy them secondhand is an option. In the UK you can get them, but they usually sell them. I haven't found any of them yet which are for sale without this hub inside. So obviously you spend 150 quid or something, or I don't know, $200, and you're not guaranteed that these bolts won't break off, which they most likely will when you go to take them out. So that's one option, which I don't really like. The second option is, some places over in Germany. I found one place who has one, but the one they sent me a photograph of, it had a really big dent, not a dent, a big scratch under here, like real big gouge, which to me is just accident damage, because that does not happen naturally. So I declined that one, and they're searching for another one, but it's taking ages. So what I'm going to do is try and repair this one, because if I can reuse it, then fantastic. I've spent quite a lot of time in the past retapping this hole, drilling out here and so on. So I think it'll be fine, because these have to work perfectly. There can't be any doubt in my mind whether these hold or not, obviously. And I will tighten them up to the required torque settings before I insert the bearing. But I'm pretty sure they'll be fine. It's just removing this little slight ridge here, which I'll take out with a hammer. But anyway, that's the plan for today. Other thing which I almost forgot to tell you about were these brackets. You may remember from the other video, they come with these these, I don't know if they're self-tapping, but they're very wide threaded screws. So I went to the hardware store and got some options here, because annoyingly I didn't bring that one with me, but I had it in my mind's eye how big it was. And this one is pretty much an exact replica, although it's a self-tapping screw, so it's got a point to it. But all I'm going to do is the head's a little bit bigger, but it fits perfectly in here. You can see here, fits absolutely fine. And I'm just going to take off the tip with the angle grinder. Okay, so I've got that screw cut to shape, and I've just painted it along with the others as well, cleaned the other ones up and painted it. And now I'm going to move on to doing some aluminium cleaning. Okay, so I've got a bit of wire wool here, which I'll break a bit off, and I'm just going to try this Glans to start with, which is a universal polish. As I say, it came recommended to me from actually the guy who came to have a look at the paintwork underneath the malfunctioning paintwork. So he recommended doing this. So I'm going to give it a go. God knows how much you're supposed to put on, but I'm going to put on that much. It probably won't make any difference whatsoever. But we shall see. I don't even know how you're supposed, maybe I should look at how you're supposed to apply this, but it basically, yeah, cleans it up a bit. You can see the dirt that's come off there. I don't really know if that's cleaning it, or whether that's just the paste mixed with the aluminium. But to be honest, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, because it's just going to take forever. Maybe you're just supposed to rub it in. Yeah, even still cleans just doing that. In fact, maybe this is the better way to do it, actually. I'll just do this top bit just to show you what it's like, and then not film the rest. Do a bit here as well. Clean that up a bit. Okay, I think without putting too many hours into it, that's probably how we're going to end up. So you can see the pitting there, but I think that's fine. It's got quite a shine to it, which hopefully it'll protect it a little bit. It may end up being a while before it actually goes back on the car, depending on how long it's going to take me now to get the paint sorted out. But I'm just going to go through and do that to all of the pipes that I've got, and then put this on the shelf. So I've got those two pipes polished up, this one as well. The center part of these, or this, is actually stainless steel, so it comes up really nicely clean. But yeah, and I've done these ones up here as well. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it now with the pipes. So I'm gonna store those back in the shelves probably to get them out of the way. And now I'm going to move on to the wheel carrier. Okay, so it took a bit of time and quite a lot of grinding later. So basically I ground it, this is the remnants of the wheel bearing on the wheel hub. So that was basically stuck down on there like that. I think they probably all fall apart when you take the wheel bearing out, or you take the hub out anyway. So I ground it down, as you can see, as far as what could go really, without going through it. And see, I didn't actually go through, as you can see. Then I heated it up for quite a while with the blowtorch, and then banged it with a hammer, and then had to pry it off with the heat. So it came off anyway. So that is now pretty much ready to go back in there once I've pushed the bearing back in there. I tried a bit of that stuff here and cleaned up this. Didn't go at it for very long, but it looks a bit better. Okay, so I've just cleaned up those bushes here with the wire wheel, like on the angle grinder. It's the only thing that really gets it off. Clean them up with brake cleaner. I'm just going to put some etch primer on, then I'll put some black on. So I've just given those bushes the first coat of paint, but I thought while I was at it as well, I'll just give the back of this wheel hub a tidy up. So I put some etch, cleaned it up with the angle grinder, put some etch primer on there, and I'll paint that black as well in a minute. Okay, so packing up for the day now. Basically that's a box full of parts which I want to clean. The header's in there, the cats are in there, and the subframe's in there as well from the rear of the car. So the subframe I just want to clean up, but the cats and the headers I want to plate. And yeah, I'm going to take these over as well, these hubs, all 4 of them actually, and see if we can clean them up. But that's going to be it for today. If not this weekend, I don't think I'll come up tomorrow. Yeah, have a good weekend. I'll see you later.